Hi YouTube, Tom Covenant here, and I am going to be bringing you another chilled Slayer guide. This time we are going to be looking at the Volblooms, which is the second Slayer creature to be found on Anachronia, and these are plant-based. So I will be taking you through the best ways to kill these creatures without giving you too much of a problem. If you didn't know, I do stream on Twitch on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday between 7 and 10 p.m. So if you have any questions that you don't want to put here in the YouTube channel, please pop over and see me on my stream, and you will find a link here. There will also be a link in the description below. So without further ado, let's take a look at the video. As you can see, I've got my Volbloom task, and apparently they are weak to fire spells. So we're going to head over to the bank and go and get ourselves set up with the best mage gear that we have, equipping our fire runes, air runes, and being on normal magics. Make sure you've got some overloads and some brews, and then we're going to be taking a look at all four of these creatures. Devil's Snare is going to be our entry at 90 Slayer. Then we have Luminous Snagglers at 95 Slayer, Lampen Floor at 102 Slayer, and then Liverworts at 110 Slayer. Make sure you pack yourself with a beast of burden and pack as much food as possible, because any length of stay will consume food, as you have no better way to manage your health. Right, starting with our Devil's Snare, which from the map is over on the southeastern corner. Now, these can lash at players from long distance, up to 9 squares away, and deal high melee damage, so remember to pray melee. After 10 auto attacks, approximately 24 seconds, the Devil's Snare will grasp the player, similar to Telos the Warden's Tendril attack, and deal rapid amounts of damage, while healing the Devil's Snare with every tick. The player can break free by dealing 10k damage to the plant. Now, the easiest way to do this is to hit the plant using Tuskar's Wrath while on a Slayer task. I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't, please go and unlock the Tuskar's Wrath ability. It is an absolute must for Slayer. Now, these creatures will drop quite common amounts of coinage, between 10 to 30,000 GP. And after that, it's a number of different primary herblore items, such as Raynar, Snapdragon, and Spirit Weeds. But the thing we're really looking for here are the Blast Diffusion Boots, which sell for 38 million GP, and on this particular task, we'll have a drop rate of 1 in 2,500. But off task, it's 1 in 10,000. Right, now we're going to move over and have a look at the Luminous Snagglers, which are found just north of the Arcane Dinosaur, to the western side of the coastline. Now, Luminous Snagglers use highly damaging magic attacks. They can hit up to 2,200, despite displayed max hit of 1,246. After performing 5 auto attacks, approximately 12 seconds, they will release 3 green spores in the air, 1 directly on the player's current tile, and 2 generally around the plant. These spores each have a 5x5 AoE hit range, and if the player does not move far enough away from them after 3.6 seconds, will be dealt with 1,200 to 2,300 poison damage, depending on the player's distance from the spore. The Snaggler also heals 1,296 life points for each spore that damages the player. Venom Blood and Anti-Poison have no effect on the spore attacks, despite the hit splats appearing as poison damage. Now, these will actually drop items, again, coins between 10 to 30,000, coconuts, limpwort roots, water orbs, white berries, grimy qualms, and grimy lanternines, mud runes, which are very, very common. And in this particular task, the drop rate is 1 in 2,000 for the Blast Diffusion boots and 1 in 8,000 off task. Now we're going to come to my personal favourite, which is the Lamp and Flora. Now the Lamp and Flora, like Luminous Snagglers, they use a magic attack. A successful attack by a Lamp and Flora will deal 6 simultaneous hits against the player, with each hit dealing up to 600 damage. Its magic attacks do not have individual hit chances. If its attacks misses, they all miss, and vice versa. However, should a player's Leviathan Ring or Lucky activate, it will only block 1 hit. Usage of Deflect Magic Curse along with Augmented Armor containing Enhanced Devotion 3 perk is highly recommended. Now these creatures will drop between 12,000 to 22,000 GP on quite a common basis, as well as mahogany planks, morchella mushrooms, pineapples, grimy irrits, qualms, super magic potions, super ranging potions. Unfortunately, and here comes the snag, the Blast Diffusion boots here have a drop rate on task of 1 in 4,000 and off task 1 in 16,000, which doesn't make them too viable for getting those boots. Now let's move over to the Liverworts, which is the hardest Vile Bloom in the 4 that we've just looked at. They use a range attack, so prey from range, and after performing 10 auto attacks, which is around about 24 seconds or 20k health points, the Liverworts drag a player next to it, stunning and binding them for 4 seconds while shooting out 3 spores in front of it. If the player does not move away within the allotted time, then the spores explode on them, dealing 1,368 poison damage times the 3 spores, while also healing the Liverworts for the same amount. If the player moves away from the Liverworts, then the spores explode and damage the Liverworts for the same amount of damage. Now, you can use Anticipation or Freedom right before the special attack, which will cause the Liverworts to spin and shoot the spores in the opposite direction from the player. But a more effective way to do this is to use Freedom while stunned and then move in the opposite direction, allowing the Liverworts to be hit by the damage alone. Now let's have a look at how that will play out. We've just seen how it doesn't work out very well, but now with this rotation, I'm building up my DPS, I'm taking a look at the health points of the Liverworts, and then I am preparing, making sure that I have Freedom available to me, and I'm preparing to be dragged in. As soon as I get dragged in, I'm not going to panic, I'm just going to wait, activate my Freedom. You can see the spores shoot out. I am then going to run in the opposite direction, and then bang, the Liverwort gets destroyed. Now, Blast Diffusion drop rate here is 1 in 2,000 on task and 1 in 8,000 off task, so well worth doing. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If it has, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.